Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at Voyager class Optimus Prime from Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy. Packaging very similar to the deluxes, obviously just scaled up a bit because the figures are larger. Really nice box art here on the side. I like that quite a bit. As well as the kind of group shot that we've had on the side of all the packaging. Love that as well. Not too much going on the bottom, not too much going on the top. Turn around. Kind of a cool dynamic pose. He comes with his very classic looking blaster rifle as well as this cool axe. And of course he can use the other Battle Masters. So they picture them here on the back. Alt mode. So yeah, very cool. Love the packaging. Let's get this guy out of the box and we can take a closer look. Here is Optimus out of the packaging and I have to say he looks fantastic. Really, really well done. He's got a little bit of kibble here. He's got kind of this backpack, but I really don't mind this too much because it does fit pretty flush against the body and just kind of looks like a normal red area for his back. He's got a little bit of forearm kibble here. Doesn't really get in the way, just looks a little weird, but it doesn't really bother me all that much. I can live with it. He's got a decent amount of that kind of gray paint to show where his metal is worn from battle. Way more than the deluxes had, so I guess as they go up, the leader class is probably going to have a ridiculous amount. But again, I don't need it. I don't hate it. I'm just kind of about it. On the deluxes, I really didn't mind because it was so minimal. With these guys, since it's a little bit more prevalent, I kind of like it even less. But I can certainly deal with it. It doesn't ruin the toy for me by any means because this guy looks great. Here is the kind of trademark cannon, Optimus's gun that we've come to know and love throughout the years. Very basic. Let me get a little bit closer here. So just kind of your standard Prime rifle. Got that kind of trademark stock that we're all used to. Just one solid piece, doesn't come apart or anything. Molded in black, has hollow spots, but overall I like the design quite a bit. I think it looks good. He's also got this axe, which I think looks pretty neat. And it can kind of transform. Fits really snugly into his fist. Come on, there we go. So you can see we have a black Autobot symbol, which I think looks kind of neat. This part's not down all the way. Or is it? Is it down? Okay, never mind. I thought it would extend it out a little bit more. But how this works is you fold this part in. Then you fold this part in, then you bring this around, and you can see that there's a little tab slot and a tab. So you just peg that right on there. And then it kind of looks like a little shield. You can either use it for storage, like you can store it exactly like this in the vehicle mode. We'll look at that a little bit later. But you can see he's got these peg holes on his forearms and his shoulders, so you could give it to him like a shield. But I think that's kind of cool. I like how it has the dual purpose there. But yeah, he's got tons of these ports on the side. 1, 2, 3, 2 on the back. So what is that so far? 9, 8, I can't count. 8 so far, 3 on each side and 2 on the back. But he's also got 4 underneath. So he's got a ton of these little ports, which is really cool. I like that quite a bit. He can also use the Micromasters and the Battle Masters just like anybody else. Peg right into the fists. He looks good wielding them. And also if you want to take these guys and peg them into these ports on the side, you can do that as well. Oops. So that's pretty neat. I like that play mechanic. Alright, let's get these guys out of here. Alright, let's talk articulation. Actually, no, let's talk head sculpt first, because this Prime is killing it. Really loving the head sculpt. Simple, but elegant. Beautifully painted. That metallic blue for the eyes looks fantastic. Absolutely loving that. Articulation wise, head is on a ball joint, up and down, side to side. You'll see this piece move a little bit, and that's because of the transformation, but it's not a big deal. You can move the shoulder. You have out to the side with the shoulder, and you can see that this part of the shoulder block moves up, so you can get that to the side articulation that you need. When I move the arm, I notice that this piece on the back likes to move around. There's really nothing you can do about it. Just kind of hold it in place. But he does have a bicep swivel, 90 degrees in the elbow, wrist swivel. And it kind of pegs in place. Like when you bring it around, it kind of pegs in. But it's not strong enough to like really keep it on there. But again, it's minorly in the way. You do have a waist swivel. Out to the side, to the front, to the back. You have a thigh swivel there. You also have a second swivel right above the knee. So you got 2 thigh-ish swivels. More than 90 degrees in the knee. And then you do have an ankle tilt. So you can have them do like a wide stance. And then still put the feet flat. So that's awesome. Really loving the articulation on this guy. The paint applications look great. The yellow on the torso and the waist, I think, really is nice and bright. That white stripe in the torso looks great. The silver, the light gray here on the shins. Everything about this guy looks fantastic. Like I said, I don't love the flecked metal paint, but I also don't hate it. It's just kind of there. So I'm okay with it. But articulation-wise, fantastic. Love the 2 accessories that he comes with. Really good. And the head sculpt for me, 100%. So let's go ahead and get into this transformation. Alright, so the first thing you do, come down to the legs here. And you're going to spin them at the second thigh swivel right above the knee, 180 degrees. You're going to flip out this piece here. And then this is going to rotate around and into this, so that it sits nice and flush. Kind of leave that kind of straight out 90 degrees. Then you're going to take this whole section that has the wheels and rotate that 180 degrees right to there, and you'll hear that click into place. So come around, do the exact same thing with the other leg. Flip this out, flip it around, flip this, and there we go, it pegged into place. And then at this point, you're going to come around to flip it around. And these things kind of threw me when I was trying to figure out the directions. So these little panels here, I just kind of use this to get this one to swivel up. That goes there. I guess the first time these were pegged in really snugly. And now that I've done it once or twice, it's not as big a deal. But you want to flip those out and just kind of rotate them up. And then you can go ahead and peg the legs together. And they'll mostly peg together down here at the feet. And then you just fold these up like that. So that's pretty much the back part of the truck. At this point, you can go ahead and lift this whole backpack section up and then spin it 180 degrees. And then just kind of lift that up to get it out of the way. I'm going to suggest moving the arms and starting to get these wheels out now. Because if you go in the same order as the directions, they are 10 times harder to get out of here. So you can see these wheels, they kind of accordion up into the chest area. So get these guys out now, and it's a ton easier. Still difficult. I don't know why it gives me such trouble. So anyway, just kind of get them going here. The next step is the waist, not the whole waist, but kind of the back part of the waist flips up, as you can see there, and then that goes 90 degrees. Now they want you to have the arms back, this up like this, and then try to get the wheels out of there, and it's impossible, at least for me. Maybe if you have super tiny fingers, you can get them in there, but not for me. So I just do it now before I pull the waist back, and it's so much easier to do. So then you bring these guys down and just kind of store them out of the way down here for now. Okay, so now that that's done, that was like the hardest part. You're going to bend them at the elbow, kind of lift this section up, and then you're going to kind of spin the... to me, they look like guns. I don't know if they're like combo headlight guns. It's like a headlight rifle. I don't know. Spin that around, and then you're going to rock these back like that. So spin the headlight gun lamp, whatever you want to call it. I like gun lamp. I'm going to stick with that. And then just kind of bring that back. Now you're going to open up the two chest pieces. Rotate the head in. You leave them open though, because next you're going to come to this top section. This is going to lift up. These two parts are going to flip out. Then this gray piece in the middle is going to flip out and click into place. And then this whole part will rotate down and then kind of come in. Oh, you know what? I have to put the arms all the way in first, or else that's not going to work. So you're going to fold up these, bring the arm all the way in, fold that up. So this is where it gets not really tricky, but just like a little tricky. So this comes down, it's going to peg into that on the sides there. These, you can see that there is a tiny little peg spot that's going to peg into this gray tab. So do that. Then there's a little nubbin right there, and that's going to kind of come up when you bring up the wheel's going to kind of peg into that. And then you can close up the chest and just kind of line up all the panels. It's really just a lot of panels, but you can get them lined up. And then last but not least, you have a tab here which pegs into a tab there, and a tab here that pegs into a tab there. Make sure that those thighs are straight, because if they're like turned or anything, it's not going to line up. And then you just pop that in, and there you go. You have your cab mode for Prime. Pretty similar to his normal cab mode, but I do like this kind of top section here. And like I said, these headlights do kind of look like rifles to me. So if you want to pretend that they fire, go right ahead. But lots of nice translucent plastic here on the front. I think that looks really cool. I like the look of that quite a bit. Wheels roll nicely. Like I was saying before with that shield piece, there's a connector peg right there, and it just pegs in perfectly. Or actually, you know what? I think, do I have this on backwards? No, I don't. I had it on right. Second guessing myself. So that just looks nice. Pegs in there really nice. And then you can take the gun. You can peg that into any of these many ports that we now have. You can plug in the other guns. Whatever you like. Lots of crazy... It's like Minicon ports back in the day, but it's just like peg holes to peg in weapons and various things. I love it. I think it's fun. So putting all that stuff aside, yeah, I think the cab mode works very well. The transformation seems a little daunting at first, but after you do it once or twice, it's very intuitive. And it just kind of makes sense, like open this up, put the panels in, open this, you know, peg this into this. And they do a great job. There's really no robot kibble. I mean, you can see the thighs. That's about it. And the feet a little bit. But they really do a good job. In this mode, you don't see the, like, battle damage as much, because it's all kind of hidden under here. You see a little bit of it in the shoulder, but none of the front of this really has any, surprisingly. I mean, I guess he does a little bit here in the chest, but you would think if he's, like, battering ram, I'm trying to make battering ram into a verb, and it's not happening, so I'm going to leave it. But yeah, if he's ramming into stuff, you would think he might have some more messed up areas in the front. But overall, love the cab mode. Think it looks fantastic. Plain and simple, Optimus is fantastic. I really have nothing to complain about. If I had to nitpick anything, like I said, not a huge fan of the battle damage worn paint applications. I get it. I'm okay with it. But if it was up to me, I would just have a normal paint scheme. But I get what they're going for. It's kind of neat, and I can totally live with it. It's a great figure. Fantastic robot mode, fantastic vehicle mode. Transformation is very fun. Once you master it once or twice, it'll be nothing for you. Definitely excellent. Wonderful articulation. Accessories it comes with are great. Like I said, no reason not to pick this guy up. Definitely add him to your collection. He's fantastic. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.